Alright, day 10, guys. Welcome! Welcome back to day 10. Now, as we can see here, I still have the trade offers by these guys. Since they don't want to say anything, bam, bada boom. So you don't have to worry about that anymore appearing, because I know it's annoying. It has been annoying me. But I was like, only check this much, like, 2 to 3 times a day at most, just because simply put I don't feel like I'm in it to fight. But I have received some information, so this is going to be really interesting to know. But I do want to look at the newspaper first just to see if it's true. Yep, as we can see, Cascadia and Hispanic of Mexico surprisingly decided, you know what, peace is good, and have decided to do peace with each other. Which is interesting because this means that I believe Hispanic of Mexico actually did really good. He got to keep all this land here. He got to keep all this. So basically, he kind of gained land and Cascadia lost a lot. Now, if Hispanic of Mexico really wanted to, he could wipe Cascadia off the map. But instead, he opted for peace. Aww. So, let's come over here to the right side. The Kingdom of Quebec. Gone. Now completely gone. There's absolutely no remnants of him from what I can tell personally. There might be a little bit here and there, like 1 or 2 provinces. But as we can see here, First Nation League is still boxing up this guy, but Dutch America is trying to move in to take this land now because he realizes, hey, this guy's probably pushing on my turf a little bit. Might want to do that. It's going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. I mean, if he doesn't change up the pathing, then yeah, all of y'all are going to see this like every single day pushing through here, which isn't a bad thing. But Freemasons Lodge has been pulling through quite a bit and all that. So let's pull up here. And I'll just keep making my usual stuff, as always, because that's all I really know to do, because I am not that good at the game, believe it or not, in my opinion. Now y'all might think differently, I think differently, we all think differently. Why? Because we're just humans. Anyway, I can now finally start getting a heavy mech up, but see, that's a little bit too much info about me and not enough info about what the others are doing. So, as we can see here, Freemasons Lodge is bordering Mexico now, technically. And in between the borders of Mexico is Nashville. That's surprising to see, actually. Very interesting. But, Freemasons Lodge. Is he going for anything in particular, or is he not? He's going for artillery now. Nice call. Looks like he's now joining the arms race himself to try to catch up with artillery. He's still doing the usual light tank infantry combo, and he has a dreadnought too. Very interesting play here. Now, who could he be preparing to fight? I think we all know who. If you're going for Navy, that can only mean one thing. You want to fight someone. So there's only really 3 people here that works on Mexico, Texas, or Cascadia. There's also Venezuela too, but no one's worrying about him right now. But I would worry about him in a second. Now, as we can see here, he is going for a tank strategy, and now he can bring up artillery, which, very respectable. But as you can see here, he doesn't know what the hell he wants to do here at Washington, D.C., but it is what it is, Some of these get buffs, some do not. It is what it is. Now he is prepping to make more troops here, it seems. Now let's go talk Texas. Texas looks like he's making interceptors up here, and as a result, he's going to try to maintain some kind of air superiority. He has level 2 air base here. We'll see what he does with that in the future. Maybe some bombers, who knows. But as we can see throughout all this, he still hasn't really made a lot of troops, mostly relying on the strength of Mexico and all that. Now, as we look here and all that, this will be what it is and all that. So yeah, let's come up here to victories. Let's see, first is still Hades New Star. They are close to victory. They almost have enough to win if it was a solo, but it's a team, so they're 60% of the way or so. And going off of that, let's look at this, we can see how much each player actually cuts up to score, apparently. I never knew this. With Smoking Caliber carrying 2/3 of it, and Texas only carrying 1/3 of it. I thought it'd be way less. Looks like he's doing more than I thought. Now, Bannock is still in second place with 259 points and all that. Now, this may look weird, seeing as how we have more points than him, yet we are below him. Let's put it into a different perspective, shall we? He is about halfway there now, give or take. We are about 1/3 of the way there. So just going off a score basis, well, yes, we do have more. We're not as close to victory as he is, believe it or not. In fact, we're pretty much evenly matched, and he's just slightly taller than us. Now, as we can see here, apparently you get, I don't know if you get gold off internal alliance matches. That'd be interesting to see if you do or not. But I'm not in it for the gold this time. But as you see here, 4th place is Venezuela, and 5th is Hispanic Nueva Mexico, who still dealt up critical blow to Cascadia. Now, this blow is really lethal to Cascadia, as essentially all he got in the 10 days that we've done this is just 2 cities and like 7 provinces. Very lethal indeed, Hispanic Nueva Mexico. Good job indeed. Now let's look up here at Dutch America. Now he is still going for what looks like infantry. He still has this little bit of hunter mech, so he's not building anything right now. Presumably, as I guess, he doesn't have stuff because of equipment offices and all that. Now, if I wanted to know the nitty gritty, I could throw some spies in there. Looks like somebody threw some stuff in the newspaper. This is interesting. What's this? Interesting. Which he isn't a part of, okay. But generally newspaper stuff is at the top of this thing. Interesting. I am completely fucked. Who am I? Says what Tisa said. I don't know my name! So Cuba has admitted that he is completely fucked. RP Cuba. We'll see you on the next one. Anyway, back to Dutch America. Now, as we can see here, Mexico and Dutch America could be heating up a little bit. Now, surprisingly, Mexico is hesitating to push into Marty. And I do know that the guy who controls Mexico, Smoking Caliber, would probably be on right about now. I do not know, but I'm guessing would be, going off of previous stuff I've seen. Now, as we can see here, he may not be going for anything, but he's still pretty strong. But we can see here that the border beef still continues, or Texas could be preparing to push into him. Now, there's multiple things cluing me into this now. He has a 9 stack down here, he has a 5 stack here, and he has another 9 stack here. Interesting that he has 3 different big groups of people on each side of him. Now, at this point, it is what it is. Now let's go down to Mexico, the powerhouse. I will say, due to this war, there's no more powerhouse between Cascadia and Hispanic Nueva Mexico. They aren't a powerhouse anymore. There's only 2 left, which would be Venezuela and Mexico, in my opinion. With Freemasons Lodge actually coming up as an up-and-coming powerhouse, in my opinion. So as we can see here, still has all this stuff. Still going for his usual artillery, I think. Is that right? Oh, he's going for industries, so he is lacking in energy a little bit while still going for artillery. Now, interestingly enough, he has not gone for any Navy stuff, like any submarines in the last few days, interestingly enough. Yes, I started Andy, ended a sentence like that. But he still has control over the Panama Canal, and his attack on Cuba has worked out. He did take the city of Nueva Gerona, but sadly, Cuba has been decimated by Venezuela. So now, we know for a fact Cuba is out of here. So who controls Cuba? Mr. Nug? Mr. Nug, it was nice having you here, but it's time for you to step aside and let Venezuela in. It's nice having you here. Bye. Now, for Venezuela stuff, he does have a destroyer line learning what Cuba could not, and that's to have a strong navy and all that. Now, as we can see here, he still has a heavy mech, defending one of his places. He is going for anti-mech guns. Very, very interesting indeed. And he's in fact going for another heavy mech, which isn't exactly the easiest to produce, but if he can make it, why not, is probably his thinking. So he's also going for some infantry, so he's just right now chilling. So all in all, I'd say on all fronts, this is pretty chill. Mexico's increasing its resources. Cascadia is recovering. Hispanic Mexico is also recovering. Texas looks to be preparing for an assault on Dutch America. Venezuela is rearming. Dutch America is trying to take a little bit of land from First Nation League, and Freemasons Lodge is making moves, which is interesting enough, as it is. Well, guys, there's not much to cover today, as peace has been achieved and all that. So let's take it to the newspaper to fill this in. Yes, this is filler now. So as we can see, Cascadia has captured multiple cities back, but artillery has somehow captured Salinas. That's nutty, probably because it has troops with them. But just an hour later, the Medium Mech Brigade from Cascadia recaptured it. So really, it was a huge battle over Salinas. But once that's happened, he used as a prepping area to. Oh wait, Memesco took out the people at Salinas. And after Sacramento was captured, they did a peace deal 6 hours later. Nice. Now, as you can see, Freemasons Lodge is losing some infantry. Even Mexico lost a little bit of stuff from the Great Sioux Union, not expecting it now. So yeah. As you can see, Soikin Calvert did declare war and took out Nueva Garona. He lost his Dreadnought and Destroyer brigades. Smoking Calvert accepted a treaty which puts Wichita under Cuban control. Effective immediately, the citizens of Wichita protesting against this treatment. Interesting. So he did agree to give Cuba this at the very least. Very interesting indeed. Now, as you can see through here though, Venezuela and Cuba has been enveloped in a war, but Venezuela has won, while taking way more casualties than Cuba despite being the victor, interestingly enough. So I do have to say, all in all, you can consider this fight over for Cuba, as he suffered a lot of losses. He's done a lot. He tried his best, even. But yeah, and Mexico, seeing his opportunity to attack, as always, went out of his way to actually take out Hawaii over here. Now this could be a good prepping ground at Honolulu. Honolulu, for anyone who doesn't know Hawaii, is just a big main island. So while yes, this may all be considered Honolulu, I believe it's only this one right here that actually is. Now, will he also wisen up and take out the Bermuda Triangle? Maybe he will. Not Triangle, but just Bermuda St. George. But we will see how this all develops in the upcoming days, as always. Until then, guys, stay alert, stay positive, and stay sharp. I'll catch you on the next update of this Alliance match tomorrow night. Bye!